Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Oaklawn Park here on Saturday. It is the 25th of February 2023. Going to look at the stakes races on the program, including the Rebel Stakes. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5 for more selections for race courses around the world. And also join me next weekend. We have an extravaganza of racing next Saturday. First here in New York, you have the Gotham. Then you have the Fountain of Youth card from Gulfstream, which is, and usually, like, I think the top 10 of betting cards of the year in North America. Santa Anita Handicap. You also have the Super Saturday program from Maidan. So join me for all those previews. It's going to be an exciting race. Hopefully I can head out to Aqueduct next Saturday also. But let's look at the stakes action from Oaklawn. Derby prep race here with the Rebel. 7, 10, and 11 we'll be looking at. The 7th race from Oaklawn, it is the Carousel Stakes. It's going for a $150,000 purse. Race for fillies and mares, 4-year-olds and upwards. We have a field of 11 horses going to post. The distance of ground here of 1,200 meters, or the distance of ground of 6 furlongs on the Oaklawn main track. 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs main track. My top selection here, I'm going to go with the number 5 horse, Uguri. I'm going to go 5, 7, 11, 2 in the superfecta. 5, 7, 11, 2 super. Top selection of 5 horse, Uguri. 4-year filly by Shackelford. Rudolph Brissett trains. Ricardo Santana Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came 30th of December at Oaklawn. Muddy Seal going, 6 furlongs, allowance race, 106,000. First start back since the Oaks of 2022. The horse put on a show, winning by 2 1/4 lengths. She set the pace, very quick fractions, 45 flat to the half, quickened them nicely off of them, and she got the job done. A very good, clear victory. Refreshing here against stakes. Quality horse shouldn't be a problem. I think she'll get a good trip, and I think she could win here today. 2 back in the Kentucky Oaks at Churchill, mile and eighth on the 6th of May. She really didn't do running. She finished 13th by 22 3/4 lengths. She beat 1 horse home. She set the pace early on, but then she just wasn't handling it. I do think her better trip will be probably at a 1-turn mile, but a 2-turn mile and eighth, it just wasn't her day. And then prior to that, the 2nd of April at Oaklawn, a mile 16th in the Fantasy, winning by a neck. She had everything her own way, 111 2 3/4, which is pretty slow, and she got the job done digging in there. Before that, in the Honeybee off the bench here at Oaklawn last year over the mile 16th, finished 3rd by 9 1/4 lengths. Very fast fractions from a tracking pace, and she never really got going. Secret Oath really put on a show there. But back to the 6 furlong, 2nd off the bench, training well. I think at 2 to 1 she's loaded. I think the 7 horse Pretty Birdie is your second likeliest winner for Norm Cassie and David Cabrera. Most recently, the poinsettia here at Oaklawn over the 5.5 in mid-December. She won by 2 and on the front and all throughout. That was a serious redemption for the race before, which was the victory ride at Belmont, 6.5 on the 9th of July. She finished 5th by 37 3/4 lengths there, and it was she had a shoe repair that day before the race. It was also a very warm day here in New York, so I think the weather probably got something with it also, with her being very frazzled. She also didn't break, and with all that in common, she just did not throw that race out. The factors had gotten to her there. And then the Leslie lady at Churchill, 7 furlongs, 12th of June, she finished 2nd by 1 3/4 lengths there, and she set the pace. She got caught late, but she didn't go down without a fight. I thought she ran decently. She likes running on this track also. She's 3 for 2 locally. Her only loss here came in the Dixie Belle last February, where she basically had a little bit of a trouble trip around the far turn. But coming here today at 5-2, she's loaded. I could definitely use her in the pick 4 here. But to recap my selection for the 7 from Oaklawn, it is the Carousel. Let's take the 5 horse, Uguri. Give kudos to the 7 horse, Pretty Birdie. 5, 7, 11, 2 super. 5, 7 in your multi-race. The 10th race now from Oaklawn. It is the Honeybee Stakes. It's a grade 3 event going for a $300,000 purse, race for 3-year-old fillies. 12 horses are going to the main track. The distance of ground is 1,700 meters, or the mile 16th trip on the Oaklawn main track. 1,700 meters, a mile 16th here in the Honeybee. My top selection, we're going to go with the number 7 horse here, Wet Paint. If there's wet paint around, I'm always the first one to, even with the wet paint sign in front of it, I always manage to get wet paint on me. It's been horrible since I'm a little kid, and it's so hard to get out of your hair also. I know from experience, of course, but 7-4-3-2 in the superfecta, 7-4-3-2 super, top selection 7 horse Wet Paint, 3-0 Philip by Blame, Brad Cox trains 1 for Godolphin, Flavian Pratt comes in from the West Coast to get the mount. Flavian Pratt, is coming over here the occasional weekend. He's 6 for 4 locally, so 67% striking rate is not bad. Most recently ran the horse on the 28th of January locally on the wet fast but seal going, mile 16th in the Martha Washington, winning by 2 lengths from a tracking position. She sat back early early. She quickened up nicely and she circled the field almost. It was a very good race. Coming here today, hopefully seeing a little closer. I think she could get a good race and I think she could win. But I love the last race where she got some dirt in her face and really got a gritty, good kind of performance. I think that is a kind of a good indicator that she could possibly handle the Churchill dirt kickback on Oaks Day. Two back, she ran on turf when the 14th of December on the Tapeta now. 1 mile and option 50 claimer, and she finished second by 1/4 lengths. She just kind of stalked. The winner, Bolsara, had the jump on her, but she ran decently there, first time winners. And then at Indiana on the slop, 1 mile, 26th of October in a main special weight, breaking the maiden by 2 3/4 lengths. She sat back early. She quickened up nicely, circling the field, and she went away with a very good run. She's training well locally since the Martha Washington. Most recent workout 19th of February, which was the Sunday, Sunday at Oaklawn. Got my days mixed up, but 5 furlongs and 59 and 4. The best workout 51. I think she's rearing to go. I'm going to use her here on the ticket. I think her second likeliest winner in this spot is the 4-horse Gambling Girl. 3 for the by Dialed In. Rapolli Todd Pletcher trains. I ride Ortiz Jr. Was that right? He's Junior gets the bounce, but he's on it for for Pletcher. Most recently, they ran the horse in early January at Aqueduct, Mount Latham, the Basanda, where she finished second by 2 3/4 lengths, and she just couldn't catch the winner, a colt who had a better trip than her. This horse didn't break so well. She was stupidly wide, and she was closing up well, but she still needs something more. Hopefully, have a better trip here today. I think she could win. I didn't think her Demoiselle was a bad performance at Aqueduct on the slop. Mile 8th, 3rd of December, was there that day. She finished third by length. Julia Shining really shined a performance that day, but this horse was a little bit wide, but was really gaining that day. The closers were doing well in that race, and then the maiden missed at Aqueduct 1 mile 30th of October. She finished 4th by 15 3/4 lengths that day. Not the best beginnings, was stupidly wide, and just wasn't getting anything there. And then in the Joe Gemma at Aqueduct, 7 furlongs in mid-September, winning by 1 3/4 lengths, a little bit wide, but you got the good clear victory. Training well at Palm Beach. I'm going to give her a shot on the ticket also. But to recap my selection for the 10th from Oaklawn, it is the grade 3 Honeybee. Let's take the 7-horse Wet Paint. Give kudos to the 4-horse Gambling Girl. 7-4, 3-2 Super. 7-4 in your multi-race. The 11th race now from Oaklawn. It is the Rebel Stakes. It's a grade 2 event going for $1 million purse race for 3-year-olds here. We have a field of 11 horses going to the starting gate. The distance of ground is 1,700 meters, or the distance of ground of 1 mile 1/16 on the Oaklawn main track. 1,700 meters, 1 mile 1/16 here in the Rebel. When I was a kid, I used to always call this race the Barney Rubble. But my top selection here, I'm going to go with the 4-horse Gun Pilot. I'm going to go 4-1-5-6 in the superfecta. 4-1-5-6 super. Top selection of 4-horse Gun Pilot. 3 are called by Gun Runner. Steve Asmussen trains. Ricardo Santana Jr. gets the mount. The horse's most recent outing came in early February here. 4th of February, 1 mile at Oaklawn, Option Lady Claimer, and the horse won by 2 lengths, and at 70 cents to the dollar. He sat back early, had a bit of a troubled trip, but when he got through late, he got the job done. I thought it was a very good, gritty kind of performance. Refreshing here with a better poster. Could be forwardly paced, just sitting off the pace setters. I don't think he's going to be setting, but just sitting off the pace setters. I think he'd get a good trip and find the winner's circle today. 2 back in optional 80 at Oaklawn, 1 mile at 14th of January. First time routing around 2 turns, first time winners. He finished second by 5 1/4 lengths. He set the pace that day and then just kind of got overtaken. He couldn't catch the winner, Verifying, who's a decent horse who beat him off the bench there. And then on debut at the end of November at Churchill, 7 furlongs in main special weight, winning by 3 lengths. Not the best beginnings, but he got quarter horse after that to the lead from a wide post draw, and he quickened up nicely. It was a very good run. He's training locally well. He should definitely get the extra distance, and I think he could really show something. Like I said, I thought that last performance was very good after he backed down. He improves off that bit of a trouble trip in the lane and around the far turn. Coming here at 8-1, I'm going to use him. You can't throw out the 1-horse Verifying. 3 are called by Justify. Bradcock trains. Florent Giroux gets the mount. Most recently on that 14th of January race here at Oaklawn, 1 mile in optional 80, winning by 5 1/4 from a tracking position. He kicked clear. That was a very good performance. First back from the Breeders' Cup Juvenile, which was at Keeneland, a mile 16th, 4th of November. The horse finished 6 by 12 lengths that day, and he had a bit of a troubled trip at the beginning of the race. Got bumped out of the gate, just kind of sat mid-pack. He weakened out of it, bumped around. It just wasn't a recipe for success there, first time around 2 turns. And then the Champagne at Aqueduct on the slop top 1 mile, 1st of October, finishing second by 3 1/4 lengths. He stalked. He had the lead, but then he just got overtaken. He ran his heart out there, and then late August at Saratoga, 6 furlongs in main specialweight. Those Travers weekend main specialweights for 2-year-olds. You always watch them. He won by 1 3/4 lengths there, quickened up nicely in the front end, and it was a very good performance. He's training well at the fairgrounds. Most recent workout last Saturday, 5/8 and 59 and 4. I think he's rearing to go at 2-1. We're going to use him in the late pick 4. But to recap my selection for the 11th from Oaklawn now, it is the Grade 2 $1 million Rebel Stakes. Let's take the 4-horse Gun Pilot. Give kudos to the 1-horse Verifying. 4-1-5-6 Super. 4-1 in your multi race. So good luck to all, and please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.